Hello, a little different intro there. Today we're going to take a look at a little bit of the history of Zen, how it developed and so on, and also take a look at what Zen teaches. So to begin, what does the word Zen mean? We saw this the other day in another video, that Zen means meditation, whether it's the Indian word jhana or what developed in China, Chan, or what developed in Japan when it spread there, Zen. All of this means meditation. And meditation, as we've seen, not in the sense of thinking about something, thinking about life, projecting my ideas from my ego onto everything. Here's what everything is, here's what it means, etc. But to empty the mind and just to be, and to have this clarity and openness to life and to everything just as it is. Now, how did this come about? Well, as legend has it, the Buddha, when he was preaching his message or teaching his message, one day did it in a very strange way. He held up a flower, a single flower, and just stood there in silence. And everybody, of course, was confused and befuddled, except this one person, Mahakasyapa. Mahakasyapa saw the Buddha, saw the flower, and smiled. And the Buddha apparently made him the first sort of Zen patriarch or Zen leader. Right? Now, this is probably legend, but it gets to the heart of what Zen is. Why did Mahakasyapa get it? Because it was beyond words. It was just this experience of the flower and the Buddha, everything just as it was in the moment. Now, to get a little more historical about it, when this thing moved to China in 520, the year 520, it moved there through a person called Bodhidharma. But even his name is a little bit sort of stuff of legend, right? Bod means awakening, Dharma means the way or the truth, right? So the truth of awakening, the way of awakening. Not exactly something someone names their kid. So there's a little bit of legend even in his name. But he was a real person. And then finally, the major patriarch under whom Chinese Zen flourished was a person by the name of Hui Neng. Hui Neng. Okay, so that was a little bit of the sketch in China. When it finally moves to Japan, it splits into two different sects or groups, schools of thought. One is the Rinzai school, or the school of sudden awakening. Let's put that down here. And the other one is the school of gradual awakening, or Soto. So the difference between these two was pretty radical in past centuries, not so much today. Okay, sudden awakening. The idea is that you prepare, almost like that video said the other day, where your enlightenment is an accident, but meditation makes you accident prone. Okay, so in the sense of sudden awakening, you're preparing through Zazen meditation for this big awakening that you're going to have, this big spiritual breakthrough, aha moment, as some psychologists call it. Whereas with gradual awakening, that school of thought, no, everything just is as it is. There's going to be no huge, big awakening. The awakening is simply there every day before you. And it's a very subtle, quiet kind of thing. As one Zen master said to another student, Master, how can I be enlightened? And he said, have you eaten your food? And the student says, yes, waiting for this big punchline. He says, well, then wash your dishes. It's just everything's right there, and you gradually wake up to the beauty and enlightenment that's all around you every day. So now what then does Zen actually teach? Well, if we look at this image here, it's an image of a screen, like white noise as we call it. But what does that mean in terms of the mind? Well, Zen says our mind is filled with this noise, all kinds of fuzzy, noise, through all sorts of distractions that come from every which way. And so this distraction builds into words, or words about things, words that describe things and life and so on. And that's not what Zen is. It's not about words. Words are symbols, though, of rational thought. Right? We think things and then put them into symbolic terms, just like we do in algebra or what have you. And that's not what Zen is either. Zen is not philosophy. It's not rational thinking about life that expresses itself in words. What Zen is, rather, is pure experience. It's beyond words. It's beyond thoughts. It's just the this that we experience when the mind is clear in meditation, and there we are. We might say, we see a sky that's blue, we feel the wind, we know the person in front of us that loves us, and that's it. That's life. That's the beauty of life. That's everything that we need right in front of us. So in this sense, Zen teaches us nothing. It's just a way to perceive life and to receive it, perceive it and receive it. So Zen teaches nothing. It is nothing. But that's not a negative sort of thing, or it's not a pejorative sort of thing. Look closely at the screen. Zen is nothing. Zen is no thing, right? It's not an object. It's not something we can grab and have, and there it is. And now the most important slide, probably in the whole lesson. Do you get it? Like the flower sermon. So Zen. Zen is just waking up to what's in front of us and being there. And the rest, as I might have said in class, will take care of itself.